So I need to give credit to my lady assistant or lover, Jodie Tiffany Phone. I love her, and she said, and she gave me this idea about business stuff. Anyway, when it comes to business, martial arts, anything that people do, right? Back, because I interviewed Ron Balicki and I asked a question about reflexes, and he talked about machine, like punching machine or something. I always wanted a punching machine. Oh, I will be teaching you marketing, online business, and online stuff, and entrepreneur sales and stuff like that. Stay tuned, and I'll be talking about witchcraft stuff. So, these kung fu artists, these martial artists, I think they're try to tap into the human. People think about human potential as speed, power, and accuracy, but there's a mystic understanding of. Yesterday night, I was thinking about supernatural powers. Like now, most people don't believe it. These kung fu masters in Asia, they believe in it. That's why they call it qigong, whatever. And they latent their energy to release it, to harness it. That's why these spiritual gurus or people try to release or open up the 7 chakras that we have within the human being. And then, so,
you think about I always thought about Bruce Lee, and you think about how fast he was. Well, if you think about it, a lot of that was God given, but a lot of it was accelerated by training. And there was a machine in the Inosanto Academy that Bruce Lee had. It was still there when I was there. I have other stories about that, but it was that light reflex thing. You ever hear about that? Like the light would shine and hit, and it would stop, and it would tell you how many tenths of a second you were between the burst of light and the touch of the target. And he had some incredible time, like 900ths of a second, where the average person is, I think, 1800s. But a lot of that was through what he was born with, the attributes he was born with, but a lot of it was through self-development. And that's what I think and I see is like the efficiency of like if I had a stick and I'm going to swing it, I see some people cock back and they'll swing. That's all time. Then I see other guys who just go back like that and they just snap it and they have it. It's because they built that reflex. They built that time within themselves. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that many times when I do like, let's say, sometime if I do like forms or like do kickboxing, I also develop um, the reflex. Why is that? And also, I remember back then when I was a kid, I was sparring with my brother, and I developed reflex. How come is why is that? Like, is it like it's the same thing that you say?
Yeah, well, everyone's gonna develop differently, and it's all in the way that you, for one, that the fast twitch muscles are in your body, and the way that it comes down to the level of what you're doing and what you like. If you really like something, you're gonna get more and more efficient with it as time goes.
Okay, thank you. I listened to this one of your interview that I watched on the you upload. What is the step and process to mastering any art or becoming a master? And now I read a lot of books on mastery, and they said you can never master anything.
I don't think there's no mastering. You're always going to learn. Again, I'll go back to my father-in-law. He's probably taking a martial art lesson right now as we speak. Until they nail the casket shut, you still got stuff to learn. So
Right.
there's no mastery. I mean, you could say, I have people say, "Oh, Master Balicki," and I'm like, I'm no master, but some people equate it to a trade. There's a carpenter, there are apprentice carpenters, there are master carpenters, and you could say, all right, if you want to judge it like that, you may be, but you know, I feel like I have this much knowledge in a world with, an infinite amount of knowledge. I've mastered nothing. I'm still
Right.
working on it. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much. I listen. I remember there was a story where I tell the story where when I was a kid, when I was graduating, because I got kicked out of high school, right?
And a lot of people say I made a mistake, but I believe that mistakes are truly a mistake if you don't learn from them. But there are my mistake, but there are learning lessons, right? And a lot of people tell me that that don't be like your older brother. But I went to a boarding school, and that was the best of my life. And I was remembering how I got out of I graduated boarding school, and I thought I knew it all, right? But everything just falls apart. My life just falls apart from my ex broke up with me, and that was the hardest day. But then I learned something, right? That the day that you think you know it all, you don't know. That's the day you learn something. That's why I believe that the most successful people always keep searching or seeking because they know that they don't know everything, right? And I know you see it. Thank you for that so much. Oh, this one I want to actually say. What's the like? I'm into Wing Chun. It's like how, like, uh, what's the difference between Wing Chun and Jeet Kune Do? Is it all?
Oh, it's a tremendous difference. Wing Chun is only a small part. There are 26 different systems that make up Jeet Kune Do. If you're sticking to just Bruce Lee's format, and it gets the most credit. But if you were to ask me what the base system, and here I go, here's argument time with a lot of people, I would say the base of Jeet Kune Do is actually European fencing. So let me pick you up. I'm going to take you with me. I'm going outside because there's going to be a lot of people coming in here, and I want to have some.
So it could cut off. But in business and in life, you gotta be dangerous. So I went soft, right? I hate personal development, made me soft, right? You most people don't understand what martial arts is. It's preparing for life death situation. Most people talk about a good game, right? I don't care if you travel. I don't care if you've done things in the past. But if you're not dangerous, you're gone out of business, right? I know Gary Vee is dangerous. I know most of the top entrepreneurs are dangerous. So, back in high school, well, freshman year, back in summer school, I took a high school class, and there people want to fight me. They say, oh, I don't know how to fight and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, but I show off. So I remember this kid, we would like square up. I was like, there you go. But back in Job Corps or Keystone Job Corps, nobody want to mess with Johnny. Nobody want to mess with what they say. You don't want to mess with Johnny. You know how to fight, or something like this guy know how to fight. They'll be back away, but sometimes I get picked on, and I'm like, you gotta be laid back and relaxing. You're still dangerous. They don't know. Who cares, right? So now Ron Balicki talk about reflexes. I've been trying to. I answer my own answer is the eye coordination. Every time I do this punch, it's be able to dodge, and every time you block or get someone to block, you develop the reflex. When you use your body, so you develop the mind to be able to fight situation. And when you're in business, you're doing the same thing as Ron Balicki in this video that I clip in, that I interview. There's no such thing as mastery, right? But you, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you should be able to juggle many things or learn many things that make you dangerous, give you a dose, more powerful than your opponent, more powerful than every business owner today. There's the bottom and there's the top, and there's the bottom top that people don't know. When it comes to fighting, it's preparing for battle that doesn't exist. It's the same thing as Gary Vee said. He's after the interview after Larry King, he's always firefighting. He's always putting out fire. So as human beings, we're always putting out fire. Our planet get destroyed, so we have to make a new one. So we always have to. We might not face life death situation, but in everyday battle, we only think about just enough to get by. People talk about in the personal development, it get dangerous when people say they live just enough, right, below their mean, from paycheck to paycheck. It's okay to live paycheck to paycheck, but do something with that thing. I see people travel. What's the point of traveling if you're not dangerous? What's the point of traveling if you're not smart enough? What's the point of traveling to see the world if you don't know any jack shit? If you're just stupid as fuck. So, when it comes to people, so this whole thing is people in this modern era don't know anything. So I was put in special education. So the modern whole YouTube thing promote hating on school. Well, I promote hating on school, but promoting the matrix. But it's about fitting in the matrix and not existing. Most people exist. But the problem with mastery is you cannot master. I always talk about become, if you're in business, always become a white belt. Always become the student. Never a master, never an expert. The moment that you think you're an expert, boom, I'll knock you out. And you don't know it. Send me like $5 in the PayPal. Send me $50 in the PayPal, and I'll see you guys next time.